Script my name in the book of life. Rap the wave, surf the slip and slide. Rock the sway, strut a different stride. Dropping flames came to liquefy my weight up, my weight up. I've been on my way up, my way up. I just had to wait up, wait up. Now we going straight up, straight up. Hey, told me build my patience, wonder why so anxious.
What's going on, family? I would love to introduce my boys in the building. We got my boy Bean, my boy LC, and my boy Mike A.k.a. Morality up in the building.
What it do?
What's going on, guys?
What it do? What it do? What it do?
What it do?
Yes, sir.
What it do, boys?
So what's going on, guys? What's going on, man? Let's start this session with a amazing prayer, man. I would love to let Morality go ahead and lead that prayer off. It'd be a blessing if he could do that.
Get it, Mikey.
Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this podcast. Thank you for this moment for our just all my brethren to just get together and praise you and be able to talk, you know. Not a lot of people are able to have friends like this where we can even speak their testimony. So being able to have all our friends on here to be able to talk about our lives and our past is really nice. And just keep our families safe, healthy, and protected, Lord. In your heavenly name, Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, Mike, man, how you been, bro? What's going on, man? What's going on over there? You guys got a lot of projects going on. I know you guys got a lot of things going on in your life, man. Especially you, Mike. You know, I know you're a busy man. You know,
Yes, sir.
man, you do a lot of things, dude. You travel all around the place, man. So it's gonna be exciting to hear your testimony, your life. You know how you got your name. You know, it's very important. I want to know that, man. How you got your name. You know, I think a lot of people need to know where that spawns from and stuff like that, and you know, just the plans for the future for you, bro. Like, what's your plans, man? You know what I mean? Like, you know, what's you know, what are you trying to build that path for your, you know, for that road for you, bro, in your life and stuff like that. And where you at with God, man? Especially where you at with God. You know, how did you find Christ in your life? You know, but let's start with your name. Let's start with your name. How did you find? You know, why did you even bring up the name or came up with the name Morality?
Well, Morality is like my 7th rap name. I've had a lot of rap names, but when I heard, this is a long story. You want me to start from the get-go? Because everyone always asks me.
Let's do that. Let's go ahead and start.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
This is your testimony right here, bro. So I really want you to break down,
His full name is Big M.
You know, I really want you to break down, you know, the essence of, you know, who you are. You know, de-shed yourself a little bit. You know, go ahead and vent on the mic. You know, let people.
I'm 20. I'm 29 years old. I was born and raised in Palm Desert, California. It's a small. Well, it's a big valley now. It used to be small, but now everyone goes there for Coachella Fest. But it's in the Coachella Valley. The only reason I'm here is because my grandma took a boat from Hungary all the way over here, and she fled during the Hungarian Revolution when Big Bean's people decided to take over the.
Wow, and we're done.
Just kidding. No, but she came to this country, met a man when she was in New York. She didn't speak a lick of English. She was put in the paper for surviving the Hungarian Revolution. Long story short, she got a job because she was put in the newspaper. Got flown out to L.A. Became a pediatric nurse working with babies, and learned 10 words of English every day. And then after that, she became the head of neurology, which is like brains, if you didn't know that. And very smart lady, got married to the man that she was sending love letters across the country to. They made my aunt Monica and my dad Andrew. My dad had me with my real mom Danielle, and then I was put into existence. And I don't know, life's been crazy, but so I don't know how to really go about this, but I don't know. I had a pretty rough like upbringing. Like I was rich by no means. Like always, my family was always struggling to make things like ends meet and everything. Like, but my dad always like made sure to like spoil me or whatever when I was little. I don't know. He was just a really good father and like always took time to like. I feel like he raised me right. You know what I mean? If I ever was messing up, he'd beat me with a belt. You know, throw me against the wall.
He disciplined your butt
Yeah.
when you needed to be disciplined. You know, he
needed
never
that.
did the right way.
I got bad tattoos. It was like,
He's like, I'm whooping your butt, boy. Here
Nah.
goes the-
But I mean, I feel like I had the average teen experience with public schooling and all that stuff. And then around, I'd say around. Okay, I wanted to mention this because this is a pretty big moment in why I'm like how I am. I never was really into church. My dad, when I came, so let me go back a little farther. So my mom, my real birth mom, she was addicted to drugs. She's been in and out of prison her whole life. Never talked to her until about a couple months ago. I started talking to her for the first time, and I'm 29 now. But my real mom, my first memories are with her, and it's just like not good memories that a little baby should have. But anyway, she couldn't. My dad and my mom weren't together, obviously, and my dad left me with her because her mother was like, she needs some responsibility. You need to leave Michael with her so she'll be responsible and take care of him and stuff. And she wasn't doing that. So my aunt Connie, rest in peace, she like called and was like, Andy, you need to come get your son or whatever. So my dad worked it out with my mom to where like she flew me out to my dad. So my first experience with church was when I was about 4 or 5. My dad put me into like it was like a Christian like preschool, and then he went through the same church hurt that I hear now every other day. It seems like where some pastor did this or someone did that, and my dad was hurt by it. You know what I mean? And so like my dad left the church, and like my grandma was never into church. We weren't really a religious family ever. I knew about God. Like my dad's friend showed me the thing, and then so my dad met my stepmom, Maria. She had 2 kids, and they fell in love. Like got married and everything. And I remember my mom like was like, "All right, you're going to." It was like a Catholic youth group. She's like, "You're going. You're in there." So she just dropped me off, and I went in and I met a bunch of kids. I started like leading like it was like prayer, and like I became one of the youth leaders there at the church. It was a Sacred Heart Church in Palm Desert. And that was like for about a year or so. I was about 17 at the time, but I went through all this stuff to get like baptized to the Catholic Church and do communion and all that thing. And so I just remember this one day, and I'll never forget it because that moment was like it was probably the thing that like makes me never doubt God, but like no one should ever doubt God because he's majorly real. But like I have one of those spiritual like experiences that everybody like talks about. But so I was riding my bike home and it was down Monterey Avenue in the valley where I'm from. And like I've only told probably like a handful of people this story. But so I'm riding my bike, and I remember it's this long sidewalk where you could see the path for miles, you know? And I was praying on my bike, like really praying like a deep, like you know, those real prayers where you're just like kind of like sitting there, like really talking to God and like giving it to him.
Mhm.
And I was like looking down this path, like looking down it. And I was like, God, like show me my path. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just pleading with him and like talking to him. It wasn't like a sad prayer or anything. It was just like a really good one. And I see something in the path, and it's like rustling, or like it looks like leaves. And I'm like, what is that? I'm still riding my bike, and I get closer and it's like legit they're called bougainvilleas. They're like this little red flower with like a white, I don't know, thing poking out of the leaf.
Okay.
And they all start like flying into my face as I'm writing. And I was like, it was to the point of where I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, these are like really hitting me. You know what I mean? I'm swatting them out of my face. And there's a moment where I like looked up into the tree line as I'm writing. I'm like, this is beautiful. Like I could see the mountains, the trees, everything. It was like pure beauty. And I was like, wow. And then I just start gushing. Like my eyes just start watering. My nose like explodes with mucus. And I'm like sitting there just like crying. I'm like, what is going on? I like legit like get off my bike, look up, and I see this like, I want to say it's an angel, but it was just like this giant like embodiment. It wasn't anything. I couldn't see it, but I could see the figure. Like I could see it. It was invisible, but it was like there, and it was bigger than the mountain that was right next to me, standing. And I was like immediately in like intense like fear. Like I was immediately scared out of my mind, and I was like, whoa, like, and I was like, I'm like, God, I'm scared. And as soon as I said that thing or whatever it was went behind me, and all that, whatever it was, the massive power or whatever I was looking at was like, what you just saw has your back pretty much. And it was like, I was like, whoa. And I instantly went from feeling like complete fear to complete like safety. Like, and I was like, oh my God, like, what is this? And then I was like, I'm just sitting there crying. And then I just hear these words, and it wasn't like words. It was like, it's cool that I get to tell you everybody this, but like, it was like a million angels, like uncountable amount of like voices, all speaking all speaking, but it was God's voice. Like they were all talking, but it was God's voice. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and it was like the deepest soprano voice that you could ever imagine, like the deepest, like of deep voices. And it was all sung by like a bunch of different voices. And it said, "Go home, my son." And I got on my bike and I was like, just riding home, like shaking. I get home and I'm like, Dad, you won't believe what happened. And I'm like, you know, and he's like, tell me. I told him, and I was like, I need to be a priest. So like, I'm like, take me to Father Lincoln right now. And he like takes me, he takes me in, and I'm like, oh, Father, like I need to become a priest. Like that's it, you know? And he's pants. Like, wow. Anyways, so Father Lincoln's not like that. Anyways,
I'm kidding.
Anyways, he's like, listen, he's like, you're very young. He's like, do you want to like have a family? And I was like, yeah, like, of course.
Well, then take off your pants. Okay.
Yeah.
Bean, I just want to let you know you're making this so much harder for Mike. Jeez.
And then, anyways, he's like, well, you should consider like becoming a deacon or whatever. And
I'm kidding. Oh,
this guy's great. He's a good guy. Anyways, and then I was like, all right, so whoop-de-whoop, loop-de-loop. I didn't do it. He's like, you become a deacon, you shouldn't become a priest. You're too young to make that decision. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. I just literally was like, for a year, I was like, it's so funny because after that happened, I thought I was holier than thou. Like I was legit praying on my knees, like every night for like 2 weeks. I would like sit there, like, you know, like these like strict prayer regiments. And then I would be like, I'd see something bad on the TV that my parents were watching. I'd turn it off and I'd be like, you guys shouldn't be watching this. it was just
That's
really funny
real.
looking back.
And that's when your parents realized that they should have kicked you in the face a long time ago, okay? And helped you wake up. Listen, I learned one thing. No matter how holy you feel, don't turn your parents' TV off, okay? You deal with that on your own time. You deal with that on your own time.
Yeah, anyways, so it's just funny looking back at that.
Mike still does that to me when I play music.
Yeah, yep. So anyways, I didn't go become a priest. I was like, what am I gonna do? I always wanted to help people. I wanted to become like a nurse or like, because my grandma was in a nursing home most of her life. So I like, and I like cared for her at our house most of the time. But like, I always like loved going in there and like helping people. So I was like, I kind of want to do something like that. So I was like, I don't know what to do. My cousin was in the Coast Guard. He just got in. He's like, dude, you should join the Coast Guard. He's like, there's this health service technician rating. Like you can come in and like become a physician's assistant, like do all these things. And I was like, sounds cool. You know, I had to study really hard for the ASVAB because like most of my like adolescence, I was really bad in school. I never did really good. I didn't care. So this is where my life took a turn. My dad bought me like the ASVAB study book, everything, locked me in a room and was like, you better learn this, you know? So I legit actually learned for my first time ever was teaching myself. Like I had to learn math all over again. I learned it from the beginning to the end. And I was like, I love math now. And I was like, it's because I never really wanted to learn. I never knew how easy it was once you know all the steps, you know what I mean? So I did all that. I scored exactly a 70. And my dad was like, man, boy, you're lucky. He was tired of driving to Riverside and back all the time to take me to MEPS. Anyways, I joined the Coast Guard. I put on my dream sheet in boot camp to the same boat my cousin was on, and I got it. So I got to my first unit in the Coast Guard was with my cousin. I slept on the rack right above him. A rack is like a boat. And it was a pretty cool experience because my cousin would like kick my butt and like tell me to, you know, do this and that. And like, I was really just like a nervous, like 19-year-old in there. And, well, I didn't get to go the rating I wanted to go to. I found out I was colorblind. I didn't know I was colorblind. Like I could see all the colors, but I guess like I can't pass those bubble tests. And I do now notice that I mess up colors. Like I'll think brown, like a really dark brown is a black sometimes, or like I'll think like a purple is a blue or a yellow is a green. It's a red and green hue anyways. So I'm colorblind. I couldn't become an HS. So I went through a lot of struggles, like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I became a culinary specialist. And I think it was the best decision I ever made because now I'm extremely overweight.
Oh man, no, you're not.
Stand on my feet all day. No, it's a great job. I love it. It's definitely something where I get to.
That's awesome, bro.
It's definitely something where it's like a life skill that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life, which is cool. But yeah, so I've been in the Coast Guard for 10 years now. 29. I started making music when I was 16. This kid in my school, when I was in high school, was like, "Hey, you got a rap battle tomorrow. You better bring your game." He's like, gave me this yellow pad. He's like, write your whole rap on there and bring it to school tomorrow. I wrote it. I remember sitting there writing it. I brought it to school and rapped it for the kids. And they were like, man, that was really good. And the guy that was supposed to battle rap me, like, didn't bring anything. So I guess I won. But after that day, I was just like, okay. And I just started writing. I was like, I don't know what to call myself. So I called myself Big M Renegade.
Okay, Big M Renegade.
Yeah.
Oh,
and there was like this SoCal rap group back in the day called the Renegades, but it's spelled differently. It's not normal Renegade.
Look at LC's face. Look at LC's face. You see his face,
Anyways,
man? He's got that face like, oh my. His eyes are rolling.
So then,
listen, I'm gonna just say this. I'm glad The Lord has brought you to the name you have now. Okay,
The whole story, and so yeah, so it went from Big M Renegade to Big M when I was 19, and I thought that was it. I thought I was the bee's knees.
Yo,
I'd
Big
rap,
M, baby, Big M, baby in the
Big M.
building.
I was big, full of myself. I spent most of my time in rap trying to be something that I wasn't. I spent most of the time in rap trying to portray what rap was, and I thought it was okay. You know, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was hurting me. I didn't know that what I was doing was wrong. I didn't know that my music could affect people the way that it can. So, I mean, the music I make now is way different than what I used to make. But when I was, so it was Big M Renegade, Big M, then it was Sugar Bear or AKA SB.
Sugar Bear. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sugar Bear. Oh
Yeah.
my God. He was like, hey, man, hey, baby, my name is Sugar Bear. You know what I'm saying?
Sugar Bear SB from the SD.
Hey,
Anyways.
my name is Sugar Bear, baby. What's
then- Hey,
AKA
and then,
Sugar Bear.
and then,
ladies and gentlemen, I've heard it all. I've heard it all.
To King Michael.
Oh, boy.
King Mike. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We've just lost our minds completely.
Anyways, dude. So
Big Bean featuring Sugar Bear.
that was
Oh, man.
that is so funny.
Oh, we love you. We love you.
Keep it coming. Keep it
That
coming,
was
Michael.
that was back when I was in a group with one of my friends. We were trying to make like a rap group. So we lived together for like
Cinnamon
4
Bear.
years. He made like all the beats, and I just tried to make a song. I couldn't make a song, and so we obviously broke up. We called it the Newly Crowned Kings NCK. We didn't do anything. Nothing ever got done except his hundreds and hundreds of beats, and we never did it. So that friendship ended, and he flew off the cuckoo's nest once I told him I wanted to do Christian hip hop. And when I was looking at Christian hip hop names, I didn't really know what to be, so I went with like Saint Michael, because I went with Saint Michael.
Why not?
I thought
I mean, St. Michael's,
and I-
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's
then I was like thinking about like what I didn't want to be like Saint, you know, I didn't want to like disrespect him. So I was like, you know, I was like, what do I want to stand for? So I was like, what do I want to stand for? So I was like, I always have my friend be like, you're the most immoral person I know. Like, you do everything bad. Like, you're not good, you know? So I was like, doing this whole Christian thing, I was like, you know, I want to just do it to where I'm not fake. I'm not something that like someone, I didn't want to have anything that, I didn't want anyone to say anything anymore. You know, I didn't want to have, so I was like, you know, I'm going to try maybe ethics. So like I looked up the name ethics, and it was like taken by like 100 people, and a lot like people spell it with a CKS or you know, whatever. So I was like, well, I knew I need to get the branding down and everything. So I was like, well, M, you know, morality. And I was like, I looked up the definition of ethics and morality, and there's no difference except for morality has more of a religious view on right and wrong. So I was like, all right, that's it. I looked it up, and nobody had it. There wasn't even a website. No one had it. No one wanted it. I guess like people say it, people use the word all the time, but no one in America or in the world has ever wanted it, I guess. So
it was meant for you, Papa.
yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm doing it. So I started like taking it up, and then I was like, you know, I'm gonna study this subject. So I was like, I read up on all these views of like moralism. I read up on all the views of like the virtues and vices. I studied these books, and I was like, all right, I'm going to make this album called Capital Virtues and talk about all this stuff. But it's funny, I did all these things and it was all for God to show me that like it's not about what we do and it's not our actions. He's already paid the price fully for us. It's about us like wanting to do these things like from our heart. You know what I mean? Wanting to change and wanting to do the right thing like genuinely and being a genuine like person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, I mean, it was all just like a major, huge lesson. Like I found I was still Catholic at this time. Like, and I met one of my friends. He showed me Andy Mineo. I remember getting chills all throughout my body. And I was like, well, that was before I said, I can't believe my last. It was before that. And I got chills and it was all throughout my body. And I was like, that's what I need to be doing. Like, I never knew that people were making music like this. Like, I had no idea. Like, I always thought like, I want to make hard hitting dope music and I don't want to curse. You know what I mean? But I didn't know people were talking about God like that and like doing it cool. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
no one knew God like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get to know God before you can even make music. Like at that level
exactly.
where you're sending chills down somebody's body.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's where Andy Mineo and these guys like Lecrae and all these dudes they put focus into us youngins at that time, like to energize and to like start getting to know God better for us to. And we were already making music, bro. Mm-hmm. So at the time, we didn't understand that we can make music with God. You know what I mean? It was like a transformation, bro. I feel you.
Absolutely. I don't know, man.
For me, I've been listening to, and I've been listening to Christian rap, bro, for a long time. I started listening to Christian rap when I think I was telling you guys Cross Movement.
Yeah.
When man, they were around back then. I think they started like in the late 90s, maybe 2000, 99, not sure, but somewhere around the late 90s. I started listening to them in 2000. You know what I mean? And it really implemented in my life what I wanted to do and how I, where my direction was, what I, when it came down to hip hop in general. Even when I was starting to make my instrumentals and when I was starting doing productions, I was veering away from that industrial side of music because of Cross Movement and those artists, like Ambassador and stuff like that. They really implemented me in my life. It was like, all right, I
like that. I like that House of Representatives song.
Yeah, bro.
They're like,
yeah, dude. Like yes, bro. 13.
I remember listening. It wasn't one of the first Christian artists I listened to, but I remember listening to him. This is some good stuff. Like it still hits hard to this day.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah, and that's and I can relate, bro. It's something that you can definitely relate to when it you find something that you can really this is something that you want to do, and it's really you gravitate towards too. I never stopped listening to Christian music after that. It was I really engulfed into every single thing, especially when Lecrae first came out when he was in his demos. His first demo was Rebel. Bro, was amazing.
I always loved how Lecrae, like, I don't know, the best thing about Lecrae is the way you can remember his lyric. Like he has a great way of making where like you can remember his.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
he's really great.
He was he was that conversion of an industrial rapper that really wanted to change his ways. And when he fell into that type of world, bro, he really kind of changed the whole tempo of bringing that energy the way he did. So, he had his own orthodox style. That's what really a lot of people gravitate towards him. And he was really, his just the beats and everything else that really gathered him. Cross Movement had their own productions team, their own producers. They never wanted to like reach out and branch out like that. They kept everything in house. So, Lecrae, when he was reaching out to like different other people, like his younger scene, his music became so profound and so different, even than theirs. It really categorized him in his own category. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, because they
Lecrae, bottom line, Lecrae was a huge eye opener, or just even a seed planter in our generation of music. And I specifically speak on, Morality, myself, LC, whether we like it or not, he literally opened doors for a lot of artists. And then I'm not even that are in the secular realm. And speaking of the, Lecrae too, now he's not even in the same section of Christian hip hop, because he chose to go that route, and a lot of Christians were hating on him.
Exactly.
But
That's exactly what I'm saying. Cross movement kept everything in house. They were really not. They didn't want. They didn't want to.
But we're a big product of all these guys. That's
absolutely,
bottom point.
Absolutely, and that's what makes them so amazing, because all the stuff that you guys are doing now is the.
But even though we were a big product of these of old hip hop, I mean, and I don't say old hip hop, I mean 90s hip hop, stuff like that, stuff we grew up listening to before we listened to Christian hip hop, we're still a big product of that too. So we're like a mix of both. So it's like it's just a dynamic duo, bro. At the end of the day, you can't get any better.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyways, the term morality kind of changed over time, to where when I made that first CD, I took it down from Spotify and everything, because in that mindset I had, it wasn't the right mindset. Morality really, really edifies. Like, it means doing the Lord's work. It means being Jesus. It means like being a good person when you don't want to be. You know what I mean? When you just decide to pick up the cross and actually try. You know what I mean? Morality has a lot to it, and it's always been like, it's a part of everybody's life. You know what I mean? It's having a moral mind is like something everybody seeks. I've also like seeked perfection and all that, and I've never be perfect. You know what I mean? And that's something that all these lessons I've learned, dude, going through Catholic church, seeing God in that, and then seeing God in Christian church, it was like night and day. Like, I remember going, that the guy who showed me Christian hip hop took me to my first time at this Christian church, which became my like home church in Oakland, called Shiloh. And that church like pretty much changed my life. Like, I remember going to church, everybody saying hi to me and everything. And and then, I'm used to just like everybody kind of minding their own and kneeling, and you know what I mean? Keeping to themselves. And like, these people were jumping, running around, like screaming at the top of their lungs, like just loving people, and it took a while for me to get used to it and like come out of my comfort zone. And I went on my first retreat with that church, and that's where I feel like God, the Holy Spirit really just like bursted inside of me. Like, there's this pastor, her name was Pastor Dawn, and I remember her like preaching. It was like this little stage out in the middle of the woods. We had like a camp. There was like a lake where people were getting baptized and stuff. And like, she was like preaching. We were having like a worship service, and like everyone was like, she was calling everyone to just let everything out and just like scream. And I remember screaming at like the top of my lungs, like to God. And like, there's just something inside my, like in my chest, or like below my chest, like right above my stomach, that like popped inside of me. And it felt like a Snapple, like popping open, you know what I mean? And I just like instantly felt dizzy. I almost like, I literally was like struggling to stand up, and I was like, whoa, and like, and this is crazy, man. Like, God's really came into my life. Like, I did Bible studies there and stuff. I'm still struggling with the Bible, like everybody. Maybe not like everybody, but I'm trying to keep God in my life and keep the word in my life every day, because we're called to do it daily. But that church really helped me just like be able to understand what being a Christian is, what we're called to be and what we're called to do. And the music I'm making now is so much different than the music I used to do. Slava Boho. And I don't know, man. I feel like right now, having this team beside me, like-minded gang, LMG, like it's everything I ever wanted, everything I ever dreamed of. And I'm just going to continue to make good music until I die. And then I'll praise God for the rest of eternity.
Let's go. Enter in with the questions. Yeah, we got questions. Questions. I forgot, bro. Hold on.
So what is your plans? What is your plans for the future with yourself, with the Lord?
What's your plans, big boy?
It comes down to your music. And
big renegade.
I understand, we live in an unpredictable world at this moment right now, with all the stuff that's going on.
Survive.
And everything else.
I just want to get a mask on my face everywhere I go.
with all the mass hysteria and all whatever the politics and everything that's going on in the world, like how do you completely build that tunnel vision for Christ, for you to allow yourself to channel yourself through Him and see yourself in the future, and what do you really want to contribute, not only to yourself, bro, but to the world? And how are you going to plant those seeds, to the youth? I know not only through music, but is there any other ways that you have plans of you really like in tuning yourself for God, and you really want to work for other ways you want to work for Him other than music? I know music's a tool, is an outlet for you to plant those righteous seeds. But is there any other way you want to continue to you plant those seeds through Christ, music?
So the way that I like get through everything, especially in this season and like these past, like whatever's going on, I've literally just been focused on the word trust, and like trusting in God, trusting in the Lord. And like I just like, I literally concentrate on the fact that I've never like lost trust for Him. Like, no matter what goes wrong in my life, like I can know that I can always trust and like fall back on that feeling, or that beautiful feeling that's always inside of me. You know what I mean? For what I'm doing in the future right now, I think it's creating this community right now, creating like a space where like we could just be ourselves and like be men of God. Like that's like this right now, this music and everything, this is important. And like for other things like starting an orphanage with Big Bean, like that's like when that's when we're able to buy bread, and when we're able to buy like be financially stable and be able to do things, I definitely know that we'll be able to branch out and do other things. But right now, music is like all we got. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have my job, my career, and I try to I have spent so much time doing that. And when I get home, like all I have to do are these projects with music, and then everything else just seems fickle. It seems like less than. Like I used to love video games when I was younger. Now I play them and I just feel like I'm wasting time. Like I still love video games and I love playing them, but like after a while, like playing them for like 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, I'm wasting my time. Like I need to be doing this. And I think it all stems from like my buddy Isaac back in the day. He's like, man, you're so talented. He's like, if I had this, like I'd be using it all the time. And I was like, man, like, I didn't realize how much I was squandering my talent. I wasted years and years of my life not making any, just pretty much like developing myself. And now I feel like I'm making more music than I've ever made. And even though like I know that there's way more I could be doing, like, going out, doing all these things, like, yeah, I should
can't go anywhere now. Everything's shut down.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
No, dude, you're doing exactly what you need to do, bro. Don't just trust the process, and God got you.
Well, let me explain something a little bit about morality. I don't know if you know this, and for me, I'm a very meticulous person, and there's a lot of things that when you talk about morality, there's many definitions of morality in the world, and I look at one through the I don't read Webster dictionary. The definition of morality in the dictionary is definitely not who you are. I look at you of the definition of Black Law Dictionary, And the Black Law Dictionary clearly states, it says each font is evaluated as to its morality based on two great commandments: to love God above all else, and to love your neighbor as yourself. But in order to love God and your neighbor, self is the basics of all morality, and that's who you are. You know what I mean?
Galatians 6:2.
But that's who you are, and that's why I follow the Black Law Dictionary the way I do, and I don't follow the dictionary, because if you look up the definition of morality in the dictionary, is clearly not who you are and what you represent your name, for. So, I just wanted to put that out there so people to understand, if they are listening to this podcast, they're not going to, say, well, this guy is basically, what is he talking about? Well, that's what he's talking about, and that's the definition of the true morality. And God bless you, and thank you so much for giving, that true essence of your name and, who you are, and, your story, your life, your family,
Morality,
your walk with Christ. Remember,
Still walking, still working on me, definitely.
We walk with Christ. We don't follow. We follow, we stray in many different ways. So just make that clear. We walk with Christ.
I'm gonna change the Webster Dictionary of morality. I think I can now.
Okay, so you guys are crazy. So what are the real quick before we start your music? I want one more question.
Dean just decides to ruin every podcast.
I never ruin any.
So what are Mike? What are the new things that's been a confirmation for the Lord in your life? Again,
what new things?
Not only new things that have been in your life, the new things that just inspired, new things that just happened into your life, that's fell on top of your life, that it's been a confirmation that what you're doing is right, and you're doing for what you're doing is for the Lord.
I got this big Slavic assassin that moved in with me.
There you go, big old Boston.
I have this new manager who's like a sergeant.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Who's leading me in my journey.
Amen, in Jesus' name.
I got this youngin from the block, DJ LC, just perfecting my vocals and making the illest. J Mill and Honesty. They're somewhere with their wives making babies. And, making babies. No, I mean, I feel like God's just putting me in this huge, like, I don't know, man.
Slumber party.
This huge, like, I think he's like, I honestly, like, I love these conversations because, like, I feel like I'm legit always thinking about God. Like, I'm always wondering and always like.
Well, every day is a confirmation. You got confirmations that come from every situation, from every different direction.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I totally understand. You know what I mean? Every day's, God puts a confirmation in your life, whether if it's a, verbal, or if it's something happening in your life that is, an incident, or rather if it's even bad, God, these things are confirmations in your life that, allows you to completely, stay the course, bro. So trust the process. And that's the moral of the story. Continue to trust the process, and stay true to yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No excuses.
No excuses, bro. God over everything.
Hit him with that undeniability, right? Tell him put it in a dictionary.
I invented a word called undeniability. It's when you're completely undeniably a superstar, and that's what LMG is.
Okay.
So you have
undeniability. I don't even know if I could say that word, but I'm gonna try.
Hey,
undeniable.
So where is the music? We're about to hear some new music from
all of us.
Yes, we're gonna rock some new music right now.
Yeah, there's a lot coming, but what do you guys got? You guys got something special for us tonight.
What do you got? Yeah. So I mean, exactly. LC
we got Peep Game and we got On My Way.
No, just
Right now, well, I'm gonna start off with the peep game. On my way, or you want to start out with LC? Want to do the on my way? Is that something that's a new feature? Is it finished yet? Is that
So check this out. Look. So on my way is you know what I mean? Morality's producer gotta hop on the mic. Anyways, so on my way is something new, some new inspiration that I had gotten, and I had shot it to Mike, and I think that me and him both had felt like the song was totally different, something that touched both of our hearts in a way that is going to totally change the game. It doesn't sound like anything we've ever put out before. It's totally new, has a totally different flow to it. It has a totally different feel to it. And as soon as I shot it over to Morality, bro, he snapped on it. So, we got a couple more things, but let's go ahead and rock with that demo. Let's go ahead and rock with the On My Way demo because I know he loves it.
That song.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
I can't wait
This
to hear
song,
this.
like, as soon as I heard it, I wanted to cry. No, but this song is like one of those songs where it's like, I don't know, it's different. It's not like a high.
It's different. It sounds different than anything we've ever made, bro.
And it allowed me to like release some things, so it was kind of nice to
really cry.
Yeah, bro. I definitely feel like me and Mike had a spiritual connection on this one. When I hit him up about it, he was immediately already like, "Yeah, I'm for it." So,
all right, well, let's go ahead and rock this. This is a track by DJ LC, big boy producer. Got the kicks, got the hits, boy. We're gonna go ahead and rock this out. On My Way. Let's go.
I've been on my way now. People really dying, that's the phase now. No, my guy gon' change them, that's the play now. Everybody watching, it's a shame now. It's a shame now, I know. On my way now. People really dying, that's the phase now. No, my guy gon' change them, that's the play now. It's a shame now. On my way now, I know.
I've been on my way. Every single path I take leading me astray, or it leads me to the grave. Tiptoeing around my issues every single day. Feels like I'm walking on glass. Leave everything I love in the past while I'm stepping on the gas. Trying to leave it all behind me, but it always seems to find a way to find me. I don't want my past to define me. I want my God to come and rewind me. But he pressed play. I said yes. He gave me choices. I didn't choose best. I might have went through the worst, but he showed me that I needed a hurt, so he could rebuild this broken man from the dirt. Then he showed me how he sees me in his eyes. He washed away all the pain and the minds. But I've been on my way now. People gon' change every day, it's a phase now. I've been on my way now. People really dying, that's the phase now. No, my God gon' change them, that's the play now. Everybody watching, it's a shame now. It's a shame now, I know. On my way now. People really dying, that's the phase now. No, my God gon' change him, that's the play now. It's a shame now, on my way now, I know.
One of the best, honestly, one of the best tracks I've heard in a long time. Even just from the group itself, bro. Like that's and that's real talk, bro. That song right there is that's radio banger, bro. You guys snap, and it was meant to be, bro. It was meant to be like that.
I have to really give a lot of props to LC and Morality.
I'm really rocking heavy with that.
You really
awesome
change your
track,
voice.
Bro.
You really change your voice, bro. You have an orthodox voice, Morality, bro, and that's one thing I really appreciate about you as an artist, too. That you are not.
He's just getting started, dude. Get real, bro.
Yeah, you just
He's just getting started.
You can hear how confident you're becoming more and more as an artist, and your work is just your lyrics, bro, your delivery, your cadence. your energy.
Yeah, he's gonna be a
even,
beast.
Even your knowledge
He's gonna
of what
focus
you're
on it.
trying to put, the fifth element, bro, knowledge of what you're putting into the word of hip hop. It's amazing, bro. Which is it's all wine with God, bro. Jesus Christ.
And it's West Coast. It's West Coast. This is
And I'm gonna say this because you know, I ain't really hopped in here like that. But yo, Big Mike, I know I mess with you a lot, big dog. But literally, so if y'all don't know this, I'm gonna just tell y'all basically, you know what I mean, semi short story. But yo, straight up, Mike was the first person to ever really introduce me to anything, you know, like this. Mike, you know, when he was walking with God, I was walking with God, and it was just so crazy how me and him had met through Instagram, and this man immediately prayed for me without even knowing me. And I knew from that day that God was doing some things in my life. And it's so crazy how things came back full circle from when he came back from the guard, from being out, and to being able to work with this man. And Mike, not only do I love you as a brother, I love you as an artist. I love you as a friend. Bro, your work is so amazing. You have yet to unravel just the gifts that God has planted inside of you. As your engineer and producer, bro, I see so many things that a lot of people don't get to see. And especially with this song, what a lot of you guys don't know is that I was on call with this man when he was writing this, when he was getting this done, and I could literally see the pain, and this was just coming out of him. This was just pure morality. So when you guys want to know who this man is, what he stands for, where he comes from, when you listen to these lyrics in these songs, just know that this is a past broken man being molded into God's soldier and his army.
Oh.
So I love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
He turns into
Fire.
another, bro. That dude turns into another person when he's in there. I ain't playing. He turns into morality, and that's exactly
Yes, sir.
when he's in there, bro. He's another entity, and it's beautiful, bro. My kids love you. My, you know, bro. Like I tell you guys all the time, bro. You guys are really inspiring the youth. You know, you guys got kids bobbing their head into your music, singing your lyrics. I mean, religiously. When I say religiously, I mean I don't even like to say that word because I don't believe in religion. To be honest. But I am, you know, it's just something that it's a beautiful thing when it comes down to it, bro. It is a beautiful thing, bro. And I love you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Morality, bro. You are special. You continue to do your thing, continue to rock it out, bro. Continue to be you. Stay true to yourself. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Remember, bro, the turtle is the one that analyzes everything. You know what I'm saying? And eventually it'll win that race, bro. So stay in God's path, bro. Walk with Christ in everything you do.
Trust the process, because that is where the progress.
You already know. So we got another track over here with DJ LC with Morality, with Being.
The whole LMG family, baby. The whole family, baby.
Even Jay Mills in here doing this thing.
Wait a minute.
I mean, we got the whole tribe
Honest
in here, so we got even Honesty up in here, bro. Honesty smashing this stuff in here, dude. I mean, like I said, you got the whole tribe, the whole holy tribe.
Let's go.
All right, let's hit it.
Had to go and do it like that. What it do, LC? LMG. Morality. Like my gang.
LC put them drums on.
I had to go and do it like that. Put the whole truth on track. Tell them peep game. All go learn where we at. Came to put the word on map. Tell them peep game. Heard I got a buzz on tracks. Light years ahead of these cats. Tell them peep game. At 34, I'll be the truth. Call me Pope Hits in the booth. Tell them peep game. Flexing with all of my troop. They better honor the moves. Tell them peep game. It's the return of real rap. Turning the page of the craft. Tell them peep game. Blessed ever moving like flash. About to put the birds on maps. Tell them peep game. 90s baby came to dominate. Pull up gang, town peep gang, ESPN heavyweight. Pass me the reins, pass me the sticks. Brick by brick, now I put it on the rock. Town peep gang, trust me, dog, we ain't the same. Stay in your lane, too much grip for the grain. Too much flow in the grace. Jesus on my shirt, Jesus on my chain.
Hold on, tell a peep gang.
Hello, wait.
Peep gang.
Yeah. Tell him peep gang. Hello, wait.
Peep gang.
Yeah. Woo. Now I'm about to tell him peep gang. Said it better hold me back like a dog with a chain. But it better light me up cause I'm going insane. No, I'm never falling short cause my guy got a range. Fighting all the demons, now they walking with canes. Yeah, my father in the sky, so we soaring like planes. No, I'm never gonna cry cause he taking the pain. Boy, I'm never gonna die cause my God always says. Woo. Yeah. Let the beat breathe.
Listen, shout outs to Anna J. Mill because I know they're not here right now. Bro, listen, wait till y'all hear the rest of that track, bro. That thing is fire.